Hi, this is Mike Farkas with Real Living Bayside Realty in beautiful Bellingham, Washington, with our real estate discussion of the day. Today's discussion is around why foreclosures won't crush the housing market next year. So, with the strength of the current housing market growing every day and more Americans returning to work, a faster than expected recovery in the housing sector is already well underway. So, regardless of that, many people are still asking the question, will we see a wave of foreclosures as a result of the current crisis? Thankfully, research is showing us the number of foreclosures is expected to be much lower in this country than it experienced during the last recession. According to Black Knight Inc., the number of those in active forbearance has been leveling off over the past month, and you can see the graph I'll attach below. Black Knight also notes that the original 4.2 million families granted forbearance, only about less than 2.6 million of those homeowners got an extension. Many homeowners have once again started to pay their mortgages, paid off their homes, or never went delinquent on their payments in the first place. They may have applied for forbearance out of precaution, but never fully accepted it. You can see the graph below that'll show more information on that. The housing market and homeowners, therefore, are in much better position than many people think. Much of that has to do with the fact that today's homeowner has more equity than most people realize. According to John Burns Consulting, over 42% of homes are owned free and clear, meaning they're not tied to a mortgage, and the remaining 58% of average homeowners has $177,000, in equity. That number is keeping most homeowners afloat today and giving them options to avoid foreclosure. So while Adam Data Solutions indicates that there's a potential for the number of foreclosures to increase throughout the country, it's important to understand why they won't rock the housing market this time around. So the United States faces a possible foreclosure surge over the coming months that could more than double the number of households threatened with eviction for not paying their mortgages. That number may sound massive, but it's actually much smaller than it seems at first glance. Today's actual quarterly active foreclosure number is almost $75,000. That's over 7.5 times lower than the number of foreclosures the country saw at the peak of the housing crash in 2009. So while you look at the graph below, it's clear that even the number of quarterly foreclosures today doubles, as Adam Data Solutions indicates, a possibility, not a given. They'll only reach what, historically speaking, is a normalized range, far below what ended up causing the housing market crash roughly 10 years ago. Equity is growing also. Jobs are returning, the economy is slowly recovering, so the perfect storm for a wave of foreclosures is not realistically in the housing market forecast. As Odeta Kushi, Deputy Chief Economist for First American, notes, alone, economic hardship and the lack of equity are each a necessity, but not sufficient to trigger the foreclosure. It's only when both conditions exist that a foreclosure becomes a likely outcome. So while our hearts are with anyone who may end up in foreclosure as a result of this crisis, we don't think that today's homeowners have more options than they did 10 years ago. For some, it may mean selling their house and downsizing with that equity, which is far better outcome than foreclosure. Bottom line, homeowners today have many options to avoid foreclosure, and equity is sure helping to keep many afloat. Even if today's rate of foreclosures doubles, it will still hit only a mark that is more in line with historically normalized range. A very good sign for for homeowners and the housing market. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.